Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the first edition of our European Conference on Security and Authentication. We're pleased to have Suyin Arts as our host and moderator for this conference. Suyin is based in Belgium. She is a seasoned TV presenter, keynote speaker, and business leader. Let's welcome Suyin.
Thank you so much for this nice introduction, Stephanie. Very welcome from my side. I am indeed Suyin Arts, your host and moderator, and I'm really delighted to be so. And I'm very curious to hear everything that we are going to learn today. This event is organized by Cromnix, a marketplace to connect European tech providers with international corporate buyers. And the idea is to match tech needs with relevant solutions. And I'm going to welcome our third speaker of this morning, and that is Andreas Abraham, VALIDID Product Manager of VALIDID ID. And VALIDID ID is headquartered in Barcelona. They also have offices in Madrid, in Paris, in Berlin, in London. And Andreas will address the topic on how to authenticate customers for creating a remote signature and utilizing an SSI wallet. Andreas, welcome to you. I'm very happy to have you with us this morning. And first of all, could you tell us a little bit more about VALIDID ID to start with?
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me here, and thank you for the nice introduction. So let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So
I think it's starting, and yes, there is your screen. Maybe put it on the big, yes, like this. And
is it full screen?
Now it's full screen. It's completely perfect. Thank you, Andreas.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
So my name is Andreas Abraham. I'm based in Graz, and I'm working for VALIDID ID. I recently joined the company, so with the beginning of the year. And today I'm going to talk a bit about how to authenticate customers for creating a remote signature using an SSI wallet. So first of all, you asked me about the VALIDID ID. VALIDID ID is a qualified trust service provider in Europe and offers different services. So trust services to the European citizens. It was established in 2012 with the headquarters in Barcelona, but also in other countries of Europe are offices. Our team has more than 50 people, and we have experience in various fields like electronic signatures, digital identities, also legal. And we are also involved in standardization bodies, and yeah. So our three main products or services, what we offer is first of all, it's the VID signer. So VID signer is services for creating electronic signatures, and since we are a qualified trust service provider, we are able to create signatures which are legally binding. So they really have a legal value, and they can be used to sign documents or contracts in various use cases. The second big component is the SP4I, stands for service provider for e-invoicing. So it's basically an e-invoicing service which private and private companies and public administrations have integrated into their backend systems and use for electronic invoicing. And the most recent one is VID chain. So in there, we focus on digital identity, but the latest development, so it's called the self-sovereign identity. And the VID chain also offers all related services to it, like the VID wallet, which we are going to talk about later.
Okay, could you? Okay, go ahead.
Just to mention, we have more than 200 partners which have integrated our services, and more than 2,000 customers I think in over 35 countries in the world. And that was it about validated ID.
Okay, great numbers, many people, many customers, many
Yes.
partners. So that's fantastic. Could you explain us a little bit more? You said you work with the SSI wallet. What exactly is an SSI wallet?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we in the VICHAIN team, so we focus on SSI and SSI related services. So, but what is SSI actually? So if we look at the evolvement of the web, it was in the beginning, we had these silos of identities. People had to create digital identities for each service provider. So lots of service providers were holding lots of identity data. This moved then in the web 2.0 to the federated identities, where we had a few big players, and you could reuse the identities there. Like, for example, if I have a Google or a Facebook account, I could go to some other service provider and use their my identity data to log in, like, you know, the button log in with Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, indeed.
But the problem there was that we were not in control of the data. What does this mean? Well, if I have a Facebook account and I want to delete the things there, then I think you're not even able to delete the account. You can just, I think, deactivate it. So the state data are still there. And now in Web 3.0, the focus there is really on being user-centric, fully user-centric, and that the user is in fully control over the data. This means when I want to delete my data, I can also delete them and use them without having someone else in between. And now to the identity wallet. The idea comes from the normal wallet. We have like a physical wallet where you have all your cards. You have a credit card, you have a driving license, and maybe an ID card and stuff like this. And this is where the idea comes from, to the identity wallet. So you use your digital pendant to the wallet on the phone, for example, and use this to store your personal information. And then that's the self-sovereign idea. So in step one, you have this wallet on your phone with your data in it, so that only you are in control and you can access them. And then, for example, you go to a website and you say, I want to log in here with my with data from my wallet. And then you scan a QR code, you establish a communication channel, and then you can say, okay, I'm selecting, you know, what data I want to share with the service provider, and this data are transmitted, and then I get access granted. So, and this all is based on the binding between the user and the data I am providing. So here we have two options to create this binding through an onboarding process. We have either if you look at the point one, you can either go on site. This means you go like to a registration officer, provide an ID or something, and then get to your wallet an identity credential issued. But you can also do this fully online, like with a remote KYC process. You know, as my speakers before already mentioned, there's certain security features. You have to take a picture of your driving license or ID card, and then it's the same as the manual process at the end to get an identity credential issued.
Okay, so that's the SSI wallet, but then you were talking about a remote signature, something that you can sign and really has the value and says, okay,
yes,
you sign this, you bought this house, really an honest signature. How come this signature is more secure with this SSI wallet?
Okay, yeah. So we have, you know, we have these different products or different lines in our company, and the VALIDID chain is the newest, but we also have the VID signer, and the VID signer are the services from the qualified trust service provider, where we create these legal signatures. And with VID signer, we are able to create biometric remote signatures or certificates or e-deliveries. So this is what is used for. And what we have done is we have combined the VID wallet, so the VID chain services with the VID signer for the authentication. So let me show you the comparison between how it was, or I mean how it still is, with, if you do it with one-time password, comparing to, okay, what is new now with the VID wallet. So here, if you look at this scenario A, you have a government, you have a company which creates a document for a user to sign, right? So you go to this, you upload this document to this VID signer platform, and there you can enter who is going to be the signer. Okay, so you enter some data, and for example, the simplest is you just enter the email, and then this person gets the email, and of course you need the telephone number, and then he receives an email and says, okay, there is some document to sign, opens it, proofreads it, or if it's like correct what he wants to sign, and then he says, yeah, okay, I'm going to sign this, and then he gets a one-time password, and this one-time password is then used for creating the signature. The user still has to sign with the finger on this form, and then at the end you get a signed document, which is, you know, like a PDF signed document, and additionally also an evidence report, which contains like information about the signer. But as you can see here, it's empty because in the beginning the company or government would have to enter that data. Okay. So it's not always empty, but just showing that they have to enter this. Okay. So if you have the remote authentication with the VID chain wallet, the beginning is the same. The private company or the public administration prepares the document, and you receive an email that there is something to sign. Okay. So, but what is now different is that you say, okay, but I wanna use my VID wallet or my VID chain services for the authentication instead of the one-time password. And then there's some process, you know, you have to unlock the wallet with your Face ID or with your fingerprint, some biometric features. And then it asks you, the company in the beginning can say what kind of credential you need. And in this case, it was like identity credential, so that you know the binding between the user and the data. Yeah. So you select the right credential. As you see here, is actually one is grayed out and one is available, so it knows which one is the right type. So you select this, and then the data are transmitted. Of course, you do still this with the finger, and then you get the same as before, the signed document plus the evidence proof, but the data have been filled in automatically. Coming from the wallets, right? Coming from the credential, exactly what you deliver. Okay. So, but why is it increased? Why is the security increased? This was, I think, the second part of the question. So there are different aspects here. For example, we have passwordless user experience. You know, username, password, remembering and reusing them is insecure. So this is a hassle. So we have this this passwordless user experience where the user has to use biometric authentication to open the wallet. And then, of course, we also have multi-factor authentication, where for the user has to have the mobile phone, and then, you know, also the biometric feature. And then we also have the strong data binding, data to user binding, which we ensure through the eKYC process, or of course through the manual process. And I think there's also something else. Since we extract the credential information and put this in there, I think it also addresses the issue that the company maybe has some typo or some issue in the beginning, you know, to make a mistake there. Okay. Okay. I'm watching the time, so we're a little bit over time. Yeah, but I think you had maybe a small video to show us how it works. Yeah. Maybe if it's not too long, maybe let us watch that video. It's just I think it's just 1 or 2 minutes. Okay.
how can I prove my identity in a digital signature process? At the end, a digital signature requires proving your identity. So let's see how we can combine VChain and VSigner to enrich this process. To show the process, first of all, we will send a document to be signed. We will do all of it from the mobile. So we'll receive an email here saying, okay, you have a document to be signed. VSigner shows the document, first of all, so the user can read the document, the landing page, and here is the document. And when click to sign, VSigner say, okay, you will be redirected in order to prove your identity. When I click on this OK, I'm directly redirected into VChain without no need to scan QR code because everything is happening on the mobile. I unlock the wallet, and the wallet is saying, okay, this application, VSigner in this case, is requesting to prove your identity. And VSigner can choose which type of verifier credential needs to be proved here. And this case is a verifiable ID. Again, I have two verifiable ID. I select one of it. And by accepting, I prove my identity, and then I'm redirected back into VSigner to finish the signature process. Basically, I need now to make my wet signature in order to prove the
I think there's some problem with the connection. Yeah.
But I think we got how it worked, and it's working very nicely. Maybe Stephanie, we're a little bit over time, so maybe if you had questions that were coming in, maybe select one question for Andreas, and then other questions we can ask them at the end of our program.
I would suggest that the questions will be asked at the end of the conference.
Okay, perfect.